Hi, it's Rob. Welcome to another video. So I've moved my record collection into what was my daughter's bedroom, and while I've been doing that, I've at the moment I've moved my records into decades. So I've got cubes that are anything past the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 12 inches, etc. So compilations. So this is an 80s cube. There should all be 80s records in here. So this is pretty random. I've probably got about 5 cubes of 80s. So I thought people might find it interesting just to go through one of my cubes. I haven't put all my best stuff in this cube, so there could be some not so good stuff in here, I'm not too sure. So that's a live album, isn't it? Susie and the Banshees, as you can see. At some point I would have paid 20 quid for that. Trust by Elvis Costello, through his 5th album. I'm trying to think what year that was. Was it about 81? I like that album. I'm in a bit of an Elvis Costello frame of mind at the moment, so I might pull that out and play that over the weekend. Great cover as well. Similar kind of cover, really. Is this the 3rd album by Peter Gabriel? I've recently picked up his debut. People call it Melt, don't they? Good cover and a good album. I do like Peter Gabriel. Yeah, Terence Trent D'Arby. The hype on there gives you an idea what's on there. Sign Your Name, If You Let Me Stay, Dance Little Sister, Wishing Well. I think that was on. I think I paid £1 for that. This is Steve Hilly, so I really like this album. It's on Virgin. I think it's 1980. So yeah, Open. The Fix. So The Fix never really had that much success in the UK. But so consequently, I kind of ignored them. Didn't really know anything about them. But I'd say recently, over the last 3 or 4 years, I picked up quite a few Fix albums. And in America, they're pretty well known. But in the UK, not so much. But they're actually a British band, and that is a good album. Jesus Jones. So that's about 88, isn't it? Doubt. I think that was. I think Martin Parrott, the vinyl scavenger, might have sent that to me. I think that was a £1 or 50p pickup from a charity shop. I've never actually played that, so I can't give you any information on that. Sensual World, Kate Bush. What year is that from? There's a few in here that have got kind of stunning covers. I've got quite a lot of Kate Bush's catalogue, but I don't play her very often. Yeah, this was quite a cheap find. Double album, Little Feat. I think it cost me £5 actually. I always like that cover. But Little Feat are one of those bands that some people in America rave about a little bit, and in the UK they're not very well known at all, really. B-52's Wild Planet. It's got 20 quid on there. I'm pretty sure I didn't pay that. But yeah, I like B-52's, especially the first 2 albums. I think this is from 84, isn't it? 84, 85, Big Express. It's kind of the ugly sister or ugly brother of the XTC catalogue, but I quite like it. Fela Kuti album, original, Sufferhead. I can't remember what year this is from. I got this from Sheffield, from that shop in Sheffield. I forget its name. The one where Richard Hawley used to work. So yeah, nice Fela Kuti album. Rupert Hine is someone who I kind of discovered a couple of years ago. He was more of a producer, but I picked up one of his albums and it was so good. So I picked this up for a couple of £. So yeah, Rupert Hine produced Private Dancer, and he produced quite a lot of albums in the 80s. He's passed away now, but he's pretty good. Billy Bragg. Love his early stuff. Anything in the 80s from Billy Bragg I really like. I know A lot of people aren't keen on his vocal, but I like him. This is Low Life by New Order. What year is this? I always forget what year is it. Is it by 84? I bought this when it came out. This is a record you don't see that often, but I actually saw it in Reckless Records last week for £18, which I thought was not a bad price for this, because you don't see it very often. Orange Juice's debut album. So yeah, this is a record that's supposed to sound amazing, isn't it? It's good. I like Roxy Music. This is one that I picked up very cheap. Avalon. Animal Nightlife, a little bit of mid-80s, not very, like, sounded on the coattails of maybe the Style Council, that sort of jazzy vibe. I'm not sure how many records Delight did, but this is the one with Groovy's in the Heart on it. Yeah, I do like this album, Heaven 17. I like that cover as well, but I can, it's Sheffield, Edinburgh, London on it instead of London, Paris, Munich. Everybody talk about pop music. I really like this album. I like the 12 inches off it as well. And I can remember at the time there was a lot of they were deemed as being really cool during this period. I did used to go in sort of clubs, and their 12 inches were played quite a lot. This is Martha and the Muffins, and this is a really good album. I think it might be the second album. Is it called This Is the Ice Age? If you ever see this, it's a really good album. And this one's a good one as well. Flaunt the Imperfection. I think it's produced by Walter Becker. Saw China Crisis during this period, and yeah, I'm a fan. Lambrettas, Beat Boys in the Jet Age. I know Stephen Schnee really loves this album. I think I picked this up for half price, so I picked it up for £7.50. Someone on a market was selling everything half price. And this is a really good album. I think it's 1980. Comsat Angels, maybe their second album. They're a band that don't get as much attention as like Psychedelic Furs and people like that, but I actually think they're a lot better. They're from Sheffield. Thrashing Doves. So I saw the Thrashing Doves, I'm pretty sure they used to be called The Climb. I saw them supporting The Truth in 83. And then they gave themselves another name, the Thrashing Doves. This is quite a good album, but they never did anything. The Vapors, Nuclear Days from 80, with Turning Japanese, News at 10, and Waiting for the Weekend. Underrated album, very good. One of my favourite album covers. If I was going to do my top 10 album covers, that'd probably be in there. You might be surprised to see Genesis Duke. So I picked up a lot of Genesis really cheap a few years ago. I do like that cover as well. I think it's from 1980, this. And yeah, I do quite like it. It's probably my favourite Genesis album. Jam's final album from 82, The Gift, featuring Town Called Malice and 5 O'Clock Hero, Ghost, Scarnation, Running on the Spot, Happy Together. Not thought of as being the best Jam album, but it's certainly not the worst. Another Billy Bragg album, or sort of what was it? Wasn't it classed as an album? I don't think. Pay No More Than $2.99. That's Barney Bubbles. Pretty sure that's Barney Bubbles cover. It's iconic. It's again, that's one of my favourite album covers as well. I love that sort of penguin style. Faith Brothers, Eventide. So in the mid 80s, they were a band that I saw quite a few times. Never sort of any breakthrough success, but from London, from Fulham, I think. And really good band. I think that's one that Mazzy sent me from the Coleman collection. The Phantom Lovers. So yeah, it's one from Mazzy. Brilliant Trees, David Sylvian, one from the sort of early 80s. I've never been that sure about David Sylvian. I know he's kind of highly regarded. He's got good hair, but yeah. Dazzle Ships, one of my favourite albums by Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. One I'd not heard until a couple of years ago, and when I heard it, I thought, yeah, I really do like it. Love and Dancing, which is sort of a Human League orchestrated instrumental version of Dare, I think, and it's decent. So this is an album that I've had for quite a few years, but I don't actually even know if I've ever played it. I picked it up for a pound or two from a car boot sale. When I pick stuff up, I don't always show what I pick up, and this is certainly a case in point. I really should play it. I picked up a CD by Penguin Cafe recently, so I really should give that a listen, but that's the sort of thing that I pick up cheap and don't show on my channel. So the Cars, I'm not sure I've ever shown this. So I'm not a big fan of the debut, but I'm a big fan of that cover, and I saw it reasonably cheap. And I do actually like it. It's got Let's Go on it, hasn't it? So I do actually quite like that Cars album. And like I say, that cover, you know, what's not to like? Early Simple Minds, Celebration. I think people realise that early Simple Minds are worth investing your time in. And there's another one. I think it came, did they come together or there was another album? Empires and Dance, it's another really good one. OMD, another one of their early albums. What's this one? Another Peter Gabriel there. So, and Everything But the Girl album, Worldwide, from the late 80s, I think. Yeah, I like Everything But the Girl. Like a Prayer, Madonna, huge seller, good album. And this is another one that cost me 50p, a cheap one. Keith LeBlanc, charity shop find. Steve Winwood albums are always really cheap, but I think they're pretty consistent. They're all sort of 6, 7 out of 10. Back in the High Life. That'd be my favourite Everything But the Girl album, Eden, from, when's it from, Eden? It was about 83, 84, and I broke up with my girlfriend, and God, some of the songs on there were pretty heartbreaking. And when I listen to it, it just takes me back to that period. But it's a great record. Not the 9 o'clock news, which was the beginning for Rowan Atkinson, Griffiths Jones, Mel Smith and Pamela Anderson. I think it used to be on Monday evening. It was such a great comedy sort of sketches and really good fun. Oh, this is upside down. This is the Buzzcocks. Some tracks from the early 80s. I think that's like a 12-inch. It shouldn't really be in there. I think it is. Yeah, Cocktail Twins. Which album is this? Is it the first one or one of the early ones? It's one that I really like anyway. Magazine, After the Fact. So I think when I was in Den Bosch, I saw this with a red cover and I was tempted to pick it up. It's kind of a compilation of magazine tracks. The second album, Magnets by the Vapors, which is just as good as Nuclear Days, actually. It's got a little bit of water damage on it there, but yeah, it's a good album. The Redskins were quite an angry left-wing band, guitar band from about 83, 84. I was quite into them. Early 80s, UK Subs live album. Yeah, I do like the UK Subs. They're kind of one of my favourite sort of punk bands. Are they still going? Charlie Harper. Fly Lizards album. Is that the debut or? Yeah, it's got Money on it. Barclay James Harvey's Face to Face. I think I must have picked this up from charity shop, cheap. I went through a phase of quite liking Barclay James Harvey's, but I'm not sure whether after the trip to Den Bosch and listening to them for hours on end with David Atkinson, I've gone off them a little bit, but they're from Oldham. That's VCLT from Martin Harris. So Martin Harris has got a great channel in the vinyl community, and I sent him a few records and he sent me a few in return. Redbox had a couple of really big hits, didn't they, with For America and was it Lean On Me? I think they're actually doing a one-off gig in London pretty soon. This must be a charity shop find. It's got a hype on it. Bill Sharp, he was in, who was he in? He was in that 80s band, weren't he? Oh, what was it? Shack Attack. I think he did a record with Gary Newman as well. John Martin, Grace and Danger. Yeah, I mean, I think this is an 80s album, but a few years ago I really got into John Martin, so I started to pick up anything I saw by him. Never Loved Elvis. Good album by Wonder Stuff. They're from Birmingham. Are they from Birmingham? That cover is, again, one of my favourites. And at this period, they had quite a few big hits. Size of a Cow and Welcome to the Cheap Seats. House of Love, I think this is the debut. Yeah, I like the House of Love. They're one of those indie bands that go a little bit under the wire. I think they might have got back together again, and Beatles and the Stones was one of my favourite sort of singles, and that's not on there, but it's a good album, that. Dream Warriors, they were kind of my definition. Picked this up cheap, it's got a hype on it. Sort of British, I think they are British, aren't they? ZZ Top, Afterburner, that would have been a charity shop find. Brilliant Corners from Bristol, one of my favourite late 80s bands, saw them so many times. That's a great record. You can get that with a red cover as well. Packed by the Pretenders would have been, it's got £10 on there. I don't think I paid 10, it might have been a half price job. But when you're looking at Chrissy Hines' Eyes like that, you've got to buy it. This would have been, I think that's a charity shop find as well. Mary Jane Girls with the Hype. You got to love the track All Night Long. This album is Hot Property. Oh, we've got a fall record here. Yep, fall record. I think it's like an A-sides. I think that's like a hits album. And then we've got a Wire album there, which was one of my early Wire purchases. It's from like about 88. I think the 12-inch I recently picked up might be on that. Oh no, it isn't, but I think it's from that period. Oh, we're getting some cool stuff now. Sorry about the wall with the blue tack. That's my daughter. Put pictures on there. I need to redecorate in here. So this is Solid Gold by the Gang of Four, which is really good album. And I think that's the third album, Songs of the Free by the Gang of Four, and a pretty dodgy album by Prince, Graffiti Bridge. When I went to see him, I think it was when he brought this album out, and I was pretty underwhelmed by it. I like Pete Townshend's solo stuff, so Empty Glasses is a good album. And an album I like, I always forget I've got this album, Emotional Rescue by the Rolling Stones. It's a pretty bad copy. I would have paid a couple of quid for that. Another John Martin record. Again, just one I'd hoover up because I've got into him. I don't think I've had this that long. Richard McCook was raving about this album. I think it's his favourite one from 1983, so I picked it up and it's good. Oh, we're getting a little bit. I'm going to rearrange this now. That would have been a cheap one, £1. John and Vangelis, but I like John Anderson's voice and I like Vangelis, so it's a good record. This is a Mazzy Coleman collection as well, I think. Bring the Family, John Haidt. Neil Young and the Blue Blue Notes record that I don't think I've played that much. Another Neil Young record. I went through a phase because I just really like Neil Young, so if I saw his records for a reasonable price, I picked them up. Another Brilliant Corners, Somebody Up There Likes Me, which is a great record from about 88, fantastic. And there's the Fix. So yeah, I got into the Fix, and Walkabout is a really good album. And I think he's got hair like me, so I like that cover. Actually, it looks a bit like me. A Clash live album, Bored with Us Festival. Something I picked up from Bolton, that record shop in Bolton that's maybe not that good, but I picked that up from there. Hits, Susie and the Banshees, Once Upon a Time, the singles. Every collection should have that, really. This mini album, 6-song special price, Mesopotamus, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called, that. Can't pronounce it. But yeah, another B-52s. Best of ABC. I really do like ABC. I like the later stuff as well. When Smokey Sings, and I love All of My Heart, and that How to Be a Millionaire album I really do like. I haven't actually got that, so I need to pick that up. But yeah, absolutely ABC, great record. A very faded copy of Blondie. Where's that been to be that for faded? But yeah, the best of Blondie. This is such a good record. I think it's 82 or 83. Special Beat Service. It's got I Confess on it. Save It for Later, Jeanette. Brilliant record. Special Beat Service by The Beat, or the English Beat if you're in America. Positive Noise. They're like a Scottish, sort of a little bit dancey, early 80s outfit. Good record. Oh, there's that Rupert Hine. So that's what got me into Rupert Hine. This is such a great record. If you ever see this anyway, it cost me a couple of quid. It's brilliant. Kilburn and the High Roads featuring Ian Dury. Great cover. That's my favourite. Is that a polar bear? If it is, yeah, it's my favourite record with a flamingo and a polar bear on the cover. This would have been a cheap one. Youthquake by Dead or Alive, Pete Burns with The Hype. You Spin Me Round and Lover Come Back. This is a record that I've still got in my collection, which I shouldn't really have, but it's still here, hanging around. Seven and the Raged Tiger by Duran. And finally in here, we've got, I think it's Cosmic Thing, good record by the B-52s. So that's a cube. There's loads of cubes in here. If you've enjoyed this video, maybe you want to see another cube. As I say, I've not cherry-picked that cube. That's kind of an average kind of cube for me. Some good stuff in there, some not so good stuff, some pretty average stuff. So, yeah, what do you think of these videos? Hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any comments, love to hear from you. Bye for now.